Right, once again, welcome to Jack Slayter Notes. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that stuff. And today we are going to do what? Social science, social studies, MCQ and discussions on social studies and social science for CTET especially. And this is the set 2 of MCQ with some elaborate notes and discussion, that is for CTET especially, but it can also be used as a Atet, Gt&Pgt and other teaching exams, because we did set 2 of CTP or pedagogy, anything you prefer. And today we are going to do set 2 of social studies. Likewise, we are going to upload a CTP and social studies set each day, 2 set hopefully. So alright, let's continue. Question number 1. The Rayatwadi system was introduced mainly in which region of India? Options: Bengal and Bihar, Bombay and Madras presidencies, Punjab and Delhi, Assam and Odisha. So Rayatwadi system was introduced mainly in Bombay and Madras presidencies. Now what are let's discuss about what you mean, what do you understand, and what are the other systems, and what is Rayatwadi system. So firstly, it was Zamindari system that is introduced in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, introduced by Lord Cornwallis in 1793. Through the permanent settlement of 1793, the British collected revenue. Zamindari system is, permanent settlement, or you can say. So the British collected revenue through zamindars, that is landlords, and farmer cultivated the land. Zamindar collected tax from the farmers. Zamindar paid fixed revenue to the British. And Zamindar collected fixed revenue. Okay, so Zamindar collected tax from the farmer, and they keep one portion and paid the fixed revenue that was set up by British to the British. Problems were Zamindar often exploited peasant. Farmers had little ownership rights. Heavy taxes led to poverty and debt. That is, so the whole thing you can understand by simply getting to the point that Zamindar in the middle, they work as a middleman in this system, that is Zamindari system. Then comes Rayatwadi system, that we get in the options. So what is Rayatwadi system? It is introduced in Madras and Bombay presidencies, introduced by Thomas Monro in 1820. The British dealt directly with the farmer, that is ryots, and now Zamindar in between. Farmer paid tax directly to the government, and farmers were considered landholders. So likewise, in Zamindar system you can see there was a middleman, that is Zamindar, but in Rayatwadi system the British directly take the tax from the farmers, and there were no middlemen. And problem arises when taxes were very high, still very high. Crop failure often ruined farmers. Peasants fell into debt. So the thing was, only problem arises because the taxes were very high, and crop failure often ruined farmers when because some natural calamities or some reason, if the crop failed, farmers still had to pay the taxes to the British government. So that's the thing. Peasant fell into debt, and that's the problem. What is Rayat? Rayat is direct relation with government, that is Rayatwadi system. Then comes Mahalwadi system. What is Mahalwadi system? It is introduced in Punjab, Delhi, Western Uttar Pradesh, parts of central India. It is introduced by Holt Mackenzie in 1862. So these sort of terms are very helpful for other MCQs might happen. Who introduced the Zamindari system? Lord Cornwallis in 1793. Who introduced Rayatwadi system? Thomas More in 1820. Who introduced Mahalwadi system? Holt Mackenzie in 1922. They are very much helpful. So what is Mahalwadi system? Revenue was collected from an entire village or mahal together. Village heads or communities paid taxes collectively. The village became responsible for payment. So in a certain area, a village, entire village or mahal, head, they made one head, and they collect taxes collectively. Then the village head becomes responsible for the payment, and they gave it to the British government. What are the problems arises in the Mahal border system? Problems were heavy burden on villages. Many peasants still suffered from debt and pressure. That's British were not very much good people, so every situation or everything they created is going to be problematic, and it's they created this for benefits of theirs, not the people of India. So that's the thing. But here's the another Mahal is village, that is community payment is called Mahal. This system were mainly created to help the British collect maximum revenue from Indian agriculture. That was their whole point, to collect more and more taxes. Question number 2. Which among the following is a renewable resource? That is coal, petroleum, solar energy, or natural gas. Everyone knows that has to be solar energy, because that doesn't really end. Solar energy is the answer. What is renewable resources? Renewable resources are natural resources that can be replaced or renewed naturally in a short period of time. Example: sunlight, wind, water, forest, solar energy. Importance is environmental friendly, less pollution, can be used continuously if managed properly. What are their limitations? Some depend on weather condition like solar and wind energy. So as you can see, if it's dark, it cannot be helpful. So that sort of thing. Then comes non-renewable resource. Non-renewable resources are resources that take millions of years to form and cannot be replaced quickly once exhausted. Example: coal, petroleum, natural gas, and minerals. As you understand that importance, that is major source of energy for industry and transport. Obviously, problem is limited in quantity. Cause pollution. It causes lots of pollution, may get exhausted in the future. Who knows if the oil dried up, or you cannot really create them. So that's the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources. You understand the point? If there is a problem, you can file it in the comment section. The doctrine of lapse was introduced by who? Lord Curzon, Lord Dalhousie, Lord Hastings, or Lord Wellesley? We all know that doctrine of lapse was introduced by Lord Dalhousie. And what is doctrine of lapse? Here are your definition. Doctrine of lapse. The doctrine of lapse was a policy used by the British East India Company to annex Indian princely states. They want to get in their small princely state, they get their power, so they form a new idea or a law. The doctrine of lapse is a policy. It is a policy used by British East India Company to annex Indian princely state. Introduced by who? Lord Dalhousie. Introduced in the year what? 1848. So these are very helpful MCQ types of questions. You focus on that. According to this policy, if an Indian ruler died without a natural male heir, you get this point. According to this policy, if an Indian ruler died without a natural male heir, if he dies without a natural male, and next generation, his kingdom would lapse and become part of British territory. They make these funny rules. If you have a nowadays you cannot really, a woman can rule if he doesn't have a male heir. Even the British of all people, they were backward thinkers. Like without a male heir, the kingdom would lapse and become part of British territory. The British often refused to recognize adopted son as legal heir. You cannot really adopt British just biological. If you don't have a biological son, your kingdom, you have to give your kingdom to the British. They were very unfair people. British, I mean. Some important states annexed were Satara, Jhansi, Nagpur, Sampalpur. That's how they annexed these states. Rani Lakshmibai strongly opposed this policy because the British refused to accept her adopted son as heir to Jhansi. So that's another thing. Rani Lakshmibai did what we all know that. Effects were, what are the effects? Created anger among Indian rulers and increased distrust against the British became one of the cause of the revolt of 1857. That's why most of the revolt happened. It is suppressed anger. So overall doctrine of the lapse is no natural heir, male heir obviously is equal to what? British take over. So this is another thing. Let's move on to question number 4. Which latitude is known as equator? 0 degree latitude, 23.5 degree north, or 66.5 degree south, or 90 degree north. So the 0 degree latitude is equator. Here's the answer. Equator is 0 degree latitude. As you can see, it cuts the earth in half, so that's 0 degree. If you move up, that northern hemisphere. If you move down, that southern hemisphere, and you go to a point that is 0 degree north pole and south pole 0 degree. So that's the thing. 0 degree equator. If you go to the north pole, that 90 degree north. If you go down to the south pole, that 90 degree east. But if you go longitudinally, that's 0 degree east and west. Question number 5. Which of the following is a feature of democracy? Universal adult franchise ruled by hereditary king. So hereditary king, it's a no-go. Without B, that's so remove B. Here's your answer is A, C and D. Universal adult franchise is a part of democracy. Equality before law is a part of democracy. Participation of citizens is exactly a part of democracy. There's your answer, A, C, D. Question number 6. The famous Virupaksha temple is located at where? Madurai, Konark, Hampi or Khajuraho? Famous Virupaksha. So the Virupaksha temple is located in Hampi, I think. Yes, Hampi is the answer. Question number 7. Which among the following causes earthquake? Movement of tectonic plates, heavy rainfall, cutting of forest. So the movement of tectonic plates is the reason we get earthquakes. That is your answer. Question number 8. Match the following. Mahatma Gandhi. What did Mahatma Gandhi do? Non-cooperation movement. Of course, Mahatma Gandhi did non-cooperation movement. So the A is 2. Lord Cornwallis did what? Permanent settlement. Yes. B.R. Ambedkar, Constitution Drafting Committee as usual, and Akbar D.El.Ed. So the answer is A 2, B 1, C 3 and D 4. So the answer is 1. Yes, answer is 1. Question number, okay, here's says Mahatma Gandhi led the non-cooperation movement in 1920. Lord Cornwallis introduced the permanent settlement in 1793. So let's see one more thing. Permanent settlement 1793. Lord Cornwallis permanent settlement is another name of Savindari system. Yes, so you should know that, I think. And here is introduced 1793. B.R. Ambedkar, chairman of the Drafting Committee, chairman of the Constitutional Drafting Committee, and Akbar started the D.El.Ed, a religious policy or order. Question number 9. Which one of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen, and whatever. So as you all know, nitrogen is not a greenhouse gas. Yes, nitrogen is the answer. So let's understand more a bit about what greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases are gases that present in the atmosphere that trap heat from the sun and keep the earth warm. This process is called the greenhouse effect. Without greenhouse, earth would become extremely cold and life would not easily survive easily. Main greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, nitrous oxide, and ozone. So greenhouse is a group of gases that trap heat from the sun, to keep the earth warm. So imagine if nitrogen were to have was a greenhouse gas, then the earth would burn like a sun. So that's the thing. How they work: sun reaches the earth, right? Earth absorbs heat and sends some heat back into space, and greenhouse gases trap part of this heat into the atmosphere, right? So this keeps the planet warm. What are the importance necessary for maintaining earth's temperature? Obviously, excess greenhouse gases cause global warming and climate change. There is another defect of this. Major sources are burning of fossil fuels, industrial and vehicles, deforestation, agriculture, and livestock. So these are the sources that helps to make the earth more hotter and hotter, because the excess greenhouse gases cause global warming and climate change, and the reason of this excess of global warming and climate change become burnings of lots of fossil fuels, industries and vehicles, deforestation, agriculture and livestock, overall making the nature worse. So greenhouse gases act like a blanket around the earth, trapping heat. That was the primary thing, but nowadays with all this pollution and exploitation, it's became a problem. The Bhakti movement emphasizes what? Ritualism, equality, devotion to God, or caste discrimination. It emphasizes devotion to God, obviously. So C, whoever C, so 2 has B and C, and C. Ritualism, yes, there were ritualism a bit. So hopefully the answer is A and C. Answer is B and C. Wait a second. Yes, equality is one of the things of Bhakti movement, but it is also has a ritual system. But the option says what? Equality and devotion to God. So the B and C is their answer. Question number 11. Which level of Panchayat Raj operates at district level? Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti or Zilla Parishad. So district level work were done by Zilla Parishad. We all know that that is the highest level of Panchayati government. Question number 12. Which planet is known as the red planet? Venus, Mars, Jupiter or Mercury? So the red planet is, we all know, Mars. Everyone watched probably John Carter movie. Question number 13. The Quit India movement was launched in 1919, 1920, 1942, 1947. That is a simple question. It's 1942. Question number 14. Which communication system is most useful during natural disaster? Telegraph, satellite communication, postal letters or newspaper? So the answer is satellite communication, because natural disaster, that is the most useful, because every other thing works through people, but satellite communication is a networking thing. It doesn't really rely on land disaster or any sort of things. So the question number 15 is Rajaram Mohan Rai associated with Arya Samaj, Brahma Samaj, Aligarh movement or Prarthana Samaj? Rajaram Mohan Rai was associated with Brahma Samaj. Yes, we all know that. So let's talk a little more about that. Rajaram Mohan Roy founded the Brahma Samaj in the year 1828. Brahma Samaj was a social and religious reform movement in India that opposed idol worship, fought against social evils like sati, that is burning of wife after the passing of the husband, supported women's education and widow remarriage, promoted monotheism, that is believing in one God. Prarthana Samaj was founded in 1867 by Atmaram Pandurang in Mumbai. Prarthana Samaj was a socio-religious reform movement inspired by the ideas of the Brahma Samaj. So it takes inspiration from the Brahma Samaj, because Brahma Samaj was started in 1828 and it founded in the year 1867. It worked from women's education, widow remarriage, abolition of caste discrimination, social reforms in Hindu society. Later leaders like M.G. Ranade and R.G. Bandarkar became important members of what? Prarthana Samaj. Then comes Arya Samaj. Arya Samaj was founded in 1875 by Swami Dayanand Saraswati in Mumbai. Arya Samaj was a Hindu reform movement that promoted the idea of back to the Vedas, believing in one God, opposition to idol worship, social equality and education. It also worked against caste discrimination, child marriage, untouchability, that sort of thing. Siddharth Prakash, written by Swami Dayanand Saraswati, explaining the principle of Arya Samaj. So it all started by Brahma Samaj, then come Prarthana Samaj, then come Arya Samaj, and the last one is, it's a completely different one. Aligarh movement. Aligarh movement was started by Sir Syed Ahmed Khan in the late 19th century, mainly after the revolt of 1857. The movement aimed to promote modern education among Muslims, encourage scientific and rational thinking, improve the social and educational condition of Indian Muslims. Important institutions were Sir Syed founded the Muhammadan Anglo-Oriental College at Aligarh in 1875. Later, it became Aligarh Muslim University in the year 1920. As you can see today, it's one of the biggest children or student front for Indian politics. Important contributions were encouraged English and Western education, worked for social reforms among Muslims, published journals and writings to spread modern ideas. It was all for a good cause. Question number 16. Which among the following is an abiotic component of the environment? Abiotic, that has no life, that is what? Water. Obviously here answer is water. Question number 17. Which of the following reflects gender stereotypes? So giving equal opportunity to all children, that is a good thing, that is good for equality and diversity. Encouraging girls in science education, that is also a good thing, that is not gender stereotype. Saying boys should not cook, that is a gender stereotyping thing. Respecting individual gender, that is a good thing. So saying boys should not cook is a gender stereotype. Question number 18. Which among the following contributed to the growth of Indian nationalism? Spread of English education, development of print media, regional isolation or social reform movements? So regional isolation is not, doesn't have to be the thing that contributed to the growth of Indian nationalism. So answer is A, B and D. Without C, if you remove C, you get your answer. It helps. Yes, question number 19. And 19 is rainwater harvest helps in what? Increasing soil erosion, that is a negative thing. Recharging groundwater, that is a good thing. So rainwater harvesting helps in recharging groundwater, not reducing water quality or increasing pollution. There is all of them are negative thing. Question number 20. Which place is known as the roof of the world? Himalaya, Pamir Plateau, Deccan Plateau, or Andes Mountain? Which place is known as the roof of the world? Answer is Pamir Plateau. Question number 21. The Santhal rebellion took place against British politicians and moneylenders, or Portuguese traders, or Mughal emperors, or French officials. So the answer is British policies and moneylenders. That's Santhal rebellion. So let's learn a bit about Santhal rebellion. What was Santhal rebellion? The Santhal rebellion was a major tribal revolt led by the Santhal people in 1856, 55 to 56. The revolution was taken in 1855-56 against exploitative British colonial policies, oppression by the moneylenders, that is Mahajan, zamindars and corrupt officials. Key leaders were Sidhu Murmu, Kanhu Murmu. So Sidhu Murmu, Kanhu Murmu, they led out a Santhal rebellion against British moneylenders that were going to take the money, and it's a tax problem. So everything in those days has to do with tax. Without it, everything was fine. So the rebellion began in present day Jharkhand and West Bengal areas. The Santals protested against heavy taxes, debt traps, and land exploitation under British rule. Though the revolt was suppressed, it became an important tribal resistance movement in Indian history. Get the whole gist. Question number just Question number 22. Why are maps more convenient than globes? They are spherical, they cannot show details, they are easy to carry and use, they rotate on an axis. So everything else is about what? Globes. But maps are easy to carry and use, so the answer is maps are easy to, answer is 3. They are easy to carry and use. Question number 23. Which of the following ports became important during the colonial period? Surat, Bombay, Madras, or Kolkata? So Surat, Bombay, Madras, or Kolkata? Who were the important colonies? So I think Mumbai, Madras, Kolkata, B.C.D. Yes, because Surat later become one of those, Madras, Bombay, or Kolkata. So the answer is Madras, Bombay, and Kolkata. B.C.D. became the important port during the colonial period. Question number 24. Who wrote the book Discovery of India? Mahatma Gandhi, B.R. Ambedkar, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose. Answer is as usual. It's a simple thing, simple question. Jawaharlal Nehru. Question number 25. Assertion. Atmosphere protects life on Earth. That is correct. It becomes gases. It contains gases essential for survival and shield us from harmful radiation. That is also correct. Answer is both A and B are correct and are expensive. Yes. Question number 26. Which among the following were features of Mughal administration? Mansabdari system is a feature of Mughal administration. Of course, it's correct. Jagirdari system is also a feature of Mughal administration. Permanent settlement is a feature of British administration. Efficient revenue collection is a feature of Mughal administration. So, if you remove C, you get your answer. So, 2, 3, 4 has C. Answer A, 1 has ABD. So, your answer is 1 ABD. It's about cancelling thing. Mansabdari system. Let's talk about it. Introduced by Akbar, a military administration system where officials were given ranks called Mansabs. Mansabdars had to provide soldier to the empire. So, that's how it works. It's a great thing. Jagirdari system is a land revenue system called Jagirs were given to official instead of salaries. Land revenue assignment called Jagirs were given to official instead of salaries. Jagirdar collects the revenue from those lands. So that is also the good. The permanent settlement is no go because it was not a legal feature. It was introduced by Lord Cornwallis in 1793 during British rule, or you can say Zamindari system. Question number D. Efficient revenue collection. The Mughal administration had an organized revenue collection. The Dharmal developed important land revenue reforms under Akbar. So Dharmal is a person that developed important land revenue reforms under Akbar. Here you get the point. If there's any complication or confusion, you can Let with the comment section. Question number 27. International deadline roughly follows 0 longitude or 90 east and 180 longitude, 180 degree longitude or 90 degree west longitude. So international deadline should follow what? 0 degree longitude or 180 degree. 180 degree, because you see it covers the what? 50%, 360 degree of 180 degree longitude. So international deadline roughly follows 180 degree longitude. Question number 28. Floodplains are useful because soil is fertile, available water, difficult for agriculture, suitable for settlement. So floodplains are useful because soil is fertile. That is correct, because after the flood soil becomes a good fertile. Availability of water also, that is true. Difficult for agriculture, no, it's not very difficult for agriculture. Suitable for settlement, I would think so, but it might. Let's see the answer. Answer is A, B and D. So suitable for settlements because you get agriculture food. It is not difficult for agriculture, so you get what? Food and settlements. So it's very much good. Question number 29. Answer is A, B, D. That means flat plains are useful because soil is fertile, available of water and suitable for settlements. Yes. Question number 29 is the first jute mill in India was established in Kanpur, Kolkata, Mumbai or Chennai. Answer is Kolkata. Question number 30. Which of the following are desirable qualities in social science teaching? Encouraging inquiry, that is good. Promoting rote memorization only, no, that is totally bad. You are not supposed to ratta everything. Linking concept with daily life, that is also good. Encouraging discussion and debate, that is the perfect. So the answer is, if you remove B, option 1 doesn't have B, so the answer is option 1, because B 2, 3, 4 all have B and B is negative. Here answer is A, C and D. So thank you for watching. Likewise, we are going to do, hopefully we are trying to do like each set of assistant pedagogy every day. If you guys support, like, share and subscribe to our channel. Jack Slayter notes, work hard and stay smart, or study hard, work some smart, do whatever. Goodbye and have a nice day. Thank you for watching. If you watched that, thank you. Goodbye, have a nice day.